What's going on, you guys? Theo here with the big review, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and it is too early for me to be awake, but we are going to be doing this. So we are going to be covering the Korean Livestream that just ended and giving you guys, as best we can, translations for the reveals for the Boss Syndrome characters. Gentle reminder that if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another daily update. But here you can see Omega Boss Syndrome Rugal. His leadership skill is going to increase all fighters' attack by 45%. Now keep in mind that all these translations are pretty loose. It's hard to get these translated from Korean. Now these are all thanks to the Templo gang. Big thanks to them for translating these through the Discord. So we're going to go through these, but if these are different upon actual release, do forgive us, but it's going to be one of those things where it's kind of tough to nail these things down so quickly. But you're going to have on his core 1 a stun immunity and deal 80% of attack as additional bleed, and then upon connection of an active skill, 7 seconds of increased damage by 25%, decreased damage received by 25% on a 20-second cooldown, and then the Boss Syndrome core is on guard every 0.3 seconds, gain 1% PG, and upon reaching a 5 combo received, gain super armor for 2 seconds, and he has a 30 PG core. So yeah, those cores. If you guys don't know this, these guys look like they're going to be mainly PvP oriented characters. So then on the skills, you have the S1, which is Kaiser Wave. That's going to increase attack by 35% for 5 seconds on connection, even on guard. 3 seconds of roll disable as well in there. Dark Genocide, his S2, is going to give him 3 seconds of hyper armor, 40% chance to reset cooldown, and then usable when being attacked, so it has an interrupt. Finally, God Press increases attack by 27% for 10 seconds, and then he is going to have a PvP exclusive of 60% to destroy the opponent's super armor or hyper armor. So 60% chance to destroy opponent's super armor or hyper armor. All of these things you can pretty much, as I said earlier, tell that these are going to be PvP oriented characters. I'm not seeing a whole lot here that is necessarily going to be oriented or geared towards the PvE side of things, which is fine. There was really not a lot of indication with these characters on how you're going to be able to obtain them, at least from what we could tell visually. Obviously, audio-wise, I don't speak Korean, so if they said something about how you obtain them, whether it's through the normal means or otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. I couldn't understand it, so I don't know the answer there, but we'll know soon enough. I'm sure that we'll be getting more information soon, but otherwise we'll be getting these characters here in the next 2 days, so it's really not that big of a deal. We can wait a couple days here, but that is going to be Omega Rugal's skills, and then we'll kind of get into the animations here. But yeah, I mean, overall, his cores look really strong. Having a 30% PG gain is kind of ridiculous, but I wasn't really blown away by these. I would assume that if you're a PvP minded person, then you're definitely like, oh my god, I need these, or you're angry. You're probably angry. That tends to be the case when they release new things that are different. People tend to freak out at the beginning, and then after a few days they're like, yeah, maybe that was a little an overreaction. But I mean, they do look very, very strong for PvP. I can tell you that right now. But yeah, time will tell. We don't know very much. All we know right now is the loose translations on the skills, and then obviously what you're seeing before you here. But as you can see with the animations, this not going to differ too much from what we posted yesterday when we did that side-by-side comparison between the Boss Syndrome versions of these characters and then the regular versions of them. So not a lot has changed. You're just going to be getting, obviously, the prettier animations added there. There was also no word on any type of finisher cards. Now, when you look at the skill list here, it almost doesn't appear as if there's probably going to be one, or this is just a dev build, and it wasn't in the dev build, and we'll be getting them. So I'm sure we'll be getting a card of some sort just based solely upon the original trailer. It looked like we should be getting one for each of them, but I'm not going to try and sit here and confirm that 100%. It's tough to tell. So again, that's another thing that we're going to have to just suss out over the course of the next couple of days. Maybe we'll even get another announcement of something before the 30th, but at this point I think they're just going to make us wait until we get the maintenance notice or the patch notice or whatever it is that they decide to release on the forum in the next 48 hours. So that's Omega Rugal. Looks pretty cool. I was pretty excited for him, but not a whole lot was said in the stream otherwise outside of these. But when it comes to the leadership skill for Orochi here, moving on to him, he's going to increase attack by 45% for boss fighters and their PG gain by 20%. So he looks like he is going to be the leader for the boss syndrome characters or boss fighters in general. So moving on to his cores, he's going to have increased attack by 4% and penetration by 200 for each attack for 5 seconds, and that stacks up to a max of 5. 20% or 20 combo, he's going to gain 10% of PG for a 20-second cooldown. Core 2, upon connection with S1, he's going to have a 50% chance to reset all projectile skills, so that's his 1 and his 2, on a 20-second cooldown, and then he's going to have the Boss Syndrome exclusive core, which is on guard every 0.3 seconds. He's going to gain 1% of PG, and PvP exclusive core is going to be upon reaching a 5 combo receive, gain super armor for 2 seconds, 20-second cooldown. So the Boss Syndrome exclusive core, basically that PvP one, is going to mean that whenever he is going to have a combo of 5 or more against him, he's going to get super armor for 2 seconds, is what it looks like. Kind of like a way to interrupt a combo, which is always a good thing to have. So moving on to his skills, his S1, for 3 seconds he's going to decrease opponent's damage by 50%, and in PvP, upon connection, even on guard, disable active skills for 2 seconds. On his S2, he is going to have increased attack by 30% for 7 seconds with a 50% chance to guard break. And then on his S3, he is going to have 3 seconds of hyper armor, and this is going to have an interrupt built in. So those are going to be the new Orochi skills. Again, not seeing a whole lot here that is going to be a major player in PvE, unless these characters just have absolutely insane damage output. Again, there's really no dots to speak of with these characters, and they just don't seem like they were geared towards much of anything outside of PvP. You see a lot of PvP exclusive cores on both of these characters, and I think that that's by design. I think that these were kind of more so geared towards that mode. But, I mean, still pretty cool. I actually really like his art in this. He looks really neat. So, yeah, overall, they both look really good, and they look nice in their skills. Everything, it looks pretty good, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm overly excited for either of them. I mean, again, I'm not a huge fan of Orochi. I talked about this yesterday. I think he's alright. I'm not, like, over the moon about him. And then when it comes to Rugal, I like Rugal a lot, and if I go for either of them, it's definitely going to be Rugal, I think. And in fact, I think Rugal honestly looks a little bit better of the two. But time will tell again. These translations could be a little off. It's tough to know. But like I said, we'll find out for sure 100% here in the next couple of days. But you can see his skill animations here. And again, they don't differ too much from the video we posted yesterday when we did the side-by-side comparisons. So really, you're getting more of the same. This is basically just going to be a retooled version of these characters. They're very, very similar in the way they perform as far as their animations go. There's going to be obviously a little bit of a quicker animation on most of their skills. If you didn't see that video yesterday comparing those, I would definitely do so you can kind of see the finer differences. But there's going to be differences, mainly that these two are going to be quicker than their regular counterparts. But yeah, so overall, that lightning looks like it is almost instant, like frame zero style. That right there could make or break him. It looks like a really good skill. But again, it's kind of like with when you have Eileene as well with a skill very similar to that does tend to whiff unless you're very, very careful with it. So yeah, overall, both of them looking pretty strong, looking pretty good. Again, we don't have any confirmation whatsoever on any type of finishers for either of them. Again, this stream in general didn't have a whole lot of content to it. If I'm being honest with you guys, there really wasn't a whole lot going on. It was mostly just filler. At one point, Travis showed up. it was through like a Zoom thing, but it was kind of cool. He spoke Korean and talked to the panel there, and kind of, I guess it was just more like a Happy New Year type thing or whatever the case. Talked about how he needs to regain his angel stat. What, I don't know. It's Travis. I try to shut off whenever he's rambling about whatever his lore is behind his character. But that is going to be the Boss Syndrome characters. Again, we only have a few days to wait for these, so very exciting. You can rage on the forums if you want, or you can be excited, but I would say just be cautiously optimistic. So moving on here, a little bit more information. We had some more leaks. This time is going to be the Athena 13 package assets. Not anything too exciting, but as you can see here, Athena is close. Looks like she's probably going to be after Goro, I would assume. For those of you who don't know and didn't check out the stream last week, first of all, what are you doing? Second of all, we are going to be getting another Christmas unit. That would be the Bear Suit Goro. He will be coming after the Jeanette's rate up ends, so I would assume we'll probably see this new Athena here in the next couple of weeks after the Christmas stuff all blows over. But yeah, basically you can tell from these that there's going to be a choice of a Burn or a Darkness R Stone, so that's interesting. I doubt she'll have both of those dots in her kit, but who knows? You never know with this stuff. I know that a lot of people out there are really excited for Athena. She did really well in the voting recently for a new Fess, so for those of you who are excited for her, I'm excited for you. Hopefully she is very good, but I know that there are quite a few people who are not excited that they chose this particular Athena design for the first Fest for her. But anyway, guys, I'm out for the day. It's like 7 a.m., 6 a.m. I'm going back to bed. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Just when I thought I could upload this video in peace and was done for the day, Netmarble decides that they're going to give me more to talk about. So this was actually already up, but in the hype for the live stream, I did not notice it until after I had already edited the video. So this is going to be a quick addition to the video here, but they announced the Ado 2020 Countdown event. And what this is basically is starting tomorrow through to the holiday on New Year's Eve, we are going to be getting special rewards sent to our inboxes, and this is going to be good for everybody who logs in during the campaign, and this is actually super awesome, guys. So let's take a look at it. So as you'll see here, we are going to have each day a different item sent to our inbox, and these are actually going to be really good items. So first one, starting tomorrow or tonight at reset, as it were, we're going to be getting a Imprint Stone Plus box. It is a mystery random box, so you're not going to be able to pick whatever plus stone you want, and it is just for the generic plus stones, but still very cool. It gets better from there, though. The next day, on the 30th, you are going to be able to get the LEAH Set Card gift box, which looks like, and there is not confirmation down here in the fine print, it just says LEAH Set Card, obtain one of LEAH's set cards and an unidentified observer type 1 through type 3. There's no confirmation as to whether or not this is going to be a selection. If it is, thankfully, I can finally finish my LEAH set because I am sick and tired of getting the same LEAH card over and over and over again. So very, very cool. I hope this is a selection. Time will tell. And then the last one, which we'll be getting on New Year's Eve, will be the Lady Fighter selection box. And this is actually a Lady Fighter selection box. It tells you down here in the fine print is going to say Lady Fighter, select one of the available Lady Fighters in the box content. So for those of you who are still trying to unlock your Lady Fighters, whether it is going to be Lady Clone Zero, whether it's going to be Lady Zero proper, whether it's Geese, Maxine, anybody you want, any of the Lady Fighters, you can pick one, and that is going to be a great way to get a memory or to just help build your characters in general. So this is very cool that they are doing this for us. For those of you who say that they never give you quality free stuff, well, you can't say they never did anything for you because this is actually awesome. So yeah, this is going to be starting at reset tonight. 29th through the 31st. You got to log in each day to pick up the items. It'll be sent to your inbox, and it's good for everybody. So just wanted to make sure I added that on here before I end the video so I don't have to do a separate video later. Now I promise you guys this is the end of the video. Peace.
Our opinion